Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to do a fight breakdown / prediction for Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. If you're new to the channel or you just don't know how I do this, so basically I take both guys, I put them side by side, and I run down a list of character traits that every fighter should have. And whoever has more points in the end, that's the person I'm going to give the fight to. So without further ado, before we go any further, if you like the content, please like, please share, please subscribe. Please drop a comment down below, and also please share a friend. We're trying to grow this channel. So without further ado, let's jump into it. We're going to start with ring IQ. I always start with ring IQ. I just think it's the simplest thing to get going with. But ring IQ, I'm going to say would be Caleb Plant. I just think he's more of a classic boxer. But on top of that, just him sharing the ring with Canelo Alvarez puts his ring IQ higher than David Benavidez, if for nothing else. But I do think he is a classic boxer. When I look at David Benavidez, he has a lot of skills and but like, honestly, the people that he's fought in comparison to the people that Caleb Plant has fought, I still got to give the ring IQ to Caleb Plant. No, he did not win against Canelo Alvarez, but I do believe we learn in our losses. Perfect example, Canelo Alvarez. When he lost to Floyd Mayweather, I feel like he grew in that fight. And I feel like, as weird as it sounds, that loss was like the best thing for his career. He kind of skyrocketed after that. So ring IQ, I give that to Caleb Plant. Speed, I also give that to Caleb Plant. I think both guys have fast hands. Now, if I was just talking about hands alone, it might even be a tie. David Benavidez has really fast hands, and I think his hand speed is like really underrated. But when I look at overall speed, like leg speed and everything like that, I'm sorry, Caleb Plant has got more speed. That is his game, because his game is not power. His game is not, impact. His game is speed. So he definitely gets that category. Boxing ability. So I'm only going to go with Caleb Plant just simply because of his creativity when he's in the ring. He's a lot more creative than David Benavidez, and he's a lot more unpredictable than David Benavidez. And because of that, I'm going to give him boxing ability. Heart. I'm going to give this to David Benavidez. Caleb Plant does have a loss. However, I personally don't feel like he adapted much in that fight. And he didn't use his natural abilities, which would be his legs, which is the reason I said he had a fighting chance in that fight against Canelo Alvarez. But David Benavidez has actually been down, and he got back up, and he won the fight. And because of that, he showed the grit and heart that it takes to be a champion. And he showed that that's what he's all about. He's about grit and heart. He can fight through the pain. He can fight through adversity. He can get off the canvas and still win. That's very hard to do. It's one thing to be getting beat and still win, but it's something else to get up off the ground and still win. Especially on this level where there's lights and cameras shining on you and there's a crowd of thousands of people, watching you on the canvas, and then you get up and you still win. Got to give it to David Benavidez for heart. Mentality. I'm going to give this to David Benavidez as well because he's never lost. Again, he was on the canvas. He got up. It shows his heart. It shows his mentality. It shows his no-quit mentality. It shows no matter what I got to go through, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to pass this test. That's the mentality of a champion, and he has shown that. Again, he got off the canvas. That is not an easy thing to do. People think just because guys get off the canvas all the time, that doesn't mean just because they get off the canvas all the time that it's an easy thing to do. Mentally, it's crushing, especially when you've never been on the canvas and now you're on the canvas and you thinking to yourself, how did I get here? But you only got you realistically only got like 5 seconds to get through that like a little emotion, like how did I get here? Because that dude is still counting. You need to get up off the canvas and think about that later. How you got there, you got to think about that later. You got to get up off the canvas, collect your thoughts, get yourself together, shake off whatever you need to shake off, make sure your legs are there, bite down on your gumshoe, and get back at it. David Benavidez. Skills. I'm going to say this is a tie. This is a tough one because Plant is very creative. Very creative. And I feel like in his last fight with Durrell, I feel like he went back to his creativity where he should have been when he fought Canelo Alvarez. But he went back to that. And I gotta say he's got skills because of that. Benavidez, actually I'm going more toward Benavidez, and I'll tell you why. Just looking at this again, just playing it in my head as I'm speaking out loud. I have one answer on here, but I'm going to change it on the fly. I'm going to say David Benavidez, because he can fight anywhere. It doesn't matter. He can fight anywhere. He can fight at any range. Plant is best at range. If you want him at his weakest or at a default or a deficit, then you fight him up close. Benavidez, look at those long arms. It doesn't matter. He can fight you at range. He hits hard too. He's way more dangerous at range. Why? Because that's a lot of leverage for that heavy punch. But he fights amazingly off the ropes. He fights great off the ropes, just leaning back on the ropes. He fights amazing when he's got somebody on the ropes and he's just pressing into him, leaning into him, got his shoulder into him, and he's just cutting uppercuts, going straight to the body. Yeah, I'm definitely changing that. I'm going with Benavidez. So I just changed that on my sheet. Resume. I am going to give this to Plant because he fought Canelo Alvarez. So, he's basically the king of boxing right now. You got to give it to him. Technically, it should be Usyk, but still, that's another video. He's basically the king of boxing right now. You got to give it to him. He fought Canelo Alvarez. Did he win against Canelo Alvarez? No. But did he have success? Yes, he did. Could he have had more success? If he would have trusted in his natural abilities, I believe he would have had way more success. But we'll never know. And that's neither here nor there. That fight is gone and over with. Adaptability. Everything kind of goes back to that Canelo fight when I look at Caleb Plant now, because he could have had more success. He didn't take advantage of it. He didn't trust in what got him to the dance. And then I look at David Benavidez, and like I just said, he can fight at range. He can fight in a telephone booth. It doesn't matter to him. If you just want to have a machismo fight and you want to see who can take more punishment, and you guys just lean on each other and rip punches to the body, he can do that all day. Do you want to have a point fight and you stay at distance and you just want to jab each other to death? He can do that all day. Do you want somebody who's going to pressure you and walk you down? He can do that all day while ripping combinations. He can do that all day. Again, David Benavidez. Footwork, come on, Caleb Plant. I mean, that's a given. That's an obvious, but still I got to say it, Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant has way better footwork. All right. In comparison, David Benavidez's footwork is like first day stuff. Like Plant's footwork is like next level. He's really elusive. He's really creative. He's really light on his feet, so, and he utilizes every inch of the ring, Caleb Plant, for footwork. Power. Just as obvious as Plant with the footwork, it's obvious who has more power. David Benavidez has more power. He will stop you. If he sees you hurt, he's putting you out. He's got those heavy hands, but on top of that, he's not like most heavy-handed guys who are just like, I'll just hit him one time and he'll fall over or something like that. He's a combination puncher and he has heavy hands. That's dangerous when you're a combination puncher and you have heavy hands. And he lets his hands go. He's very fluid and just loose with his hands. So once the first one fires off, the second one fires off. So he's like a machine gun puncher, once he has an individual hurt. And that, I always feel like when it comes to David Benavidez, that last combination before he puts somebody out of their miseries, that's like the worst combination out of the whole fight when it comes from him. Defense. Who has more defense? So again, I'm going to give it a tie because of this. Caleb Plant, his defense is in his legs. That's his defense. Benavidez, his defense is just slipping, rolling shots. So a lot of times it'll look like he's getting hit, but he's not getting hit cleanly. He's just rolling with it because he doesn't want to lose positioning. He is a stalker. He walks you down. So he's not about to lose positioning just because you're firing a shot at him. He'd rather just roll with that or, just slip it slightly just so he can keep positioning. So I got to give both guys a tie for that. Durability. Again, David Benavidez. I think if David Benavidez was in the situation that Caleb Plant was in the Canelo fight, I think David Benavidez would have fought his way out of there. That's what I think. I also think he would have survived the moment, but I also think he also could have fought his way out of that. And I looked at Caleb Plant and he just crumbled. So I got to go with David Benavidez. Timing. Who has better timing? Yes, I think Caleb Plant is a faster fighter, but when I'm talking about timing, timing beats speed. And David Benavidez, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but for his size, he is really fast. But most of that is just timing. He just knows when to punch. He just knows when to punch, and that's all timing. And once he gets your time down, and I think this is going to be an interesting fight because he is fighting Caleb Plant, somebody who just kind of, it seems like that nothing is scripted with Caleb Plant the way he fights. But once David Benavidez gets okay, I know what you're doing, and I got it now. I got this song now. I understand the tune to it. It's going to be a different story in the fight. So I give that to David Benavidez. Now here's another segment. I just say best weapons. Caleb Plant, his best weapons, his legs and his creativity. If he utilizes his best weapons, his legs and his creativity, I think this is a very interesting fight. I also think this fight lasts longer than expected. And I think he could give David Benavidez a true run for his money, and I think he can give him a lot of frustration throughout the fight because of that creativity and his elusiveness with his legs throughout the fight. David Benavidez, it would be the pressure, the body work, the combinations, the constant walking you down. That alone takes energy out of you when you can't get somebody off you. They just won't let you be in the ring. So that is a weapon. That is a weapon. That is a real weapon. Just to have somebody all over you. Triple G does that. Where you just like, all right. Charlo does that. At 154, I believe that's Jamal. But he does that. He just won't let you live. He won't let you breathe. Like, all right, bro, you got that round. Like, let's just chill. Like, no, he's gonna be on you the whole entire time. Once Canelo gets moving, he gets cooking. He's like that. It's pressure. I'm up in your face until I get you up out of here. Now, here's another segment, and I've just titled it, what should he do? So for Caleb Plant, what should Caleb Plant do? Caleb Plant should move, be slick, point fight. I do think he should point fight. At no time should he turn into a stationary target. Point fight. Make Benavidez move, but not, and this is tricky. Make Benavidez move, but not chase. There's a difference. And an intelligent fighter like Caleb Plant has the ability to do that. Now, will he be able to make Benavidez do that? It's something else. But he does have the ability. It's just, can he implement that? That's the question. What should he do? Caleb Plant should frustrate Benavidez. Mix it up. Be unorthodox. Be outside the box. You're going to need that because Benavidez is such a classical boxer. You need to be outside the box with somebody like that just to frustrate him, to get under his skin. Because I know at some point Benavidez should be thinking, man, I should have got this fool up out of here by now. And he's still here, and he's still cooking. He's still moving around, and he's still energetic. He still believes in himself. I should have beaten that out of him by now. Keep him guessing. Mix it up. Go to the body. Go to the head. Lead with punches that you don't typically lead with. Lead with an uppercut. Lead with a shovel hook. Lead with something you don't typically lead with, and that'll throw him off. Again, David Benavidez is also about timing. So if I know you're throwing the one, I know the two is coming. If I know you're throwing that right hand, well, then I know that hook is coming. But keep him guessing. So I don't know, throw two right hands. And then throw a hook. I don't know, but keep him guessing. What should David Benavidez do? Cut off the ring, cut it off early. Do not give Caleb Plant a chance to move. Make him plant his feet. Make him fight you. That's what you should do. don't take off any rounds. Don't take off any rounds for Caleb Plant. Because a guy like that, he needs his cardio, especially to fight a guy like David Benavidez. Caleb Plant's going to need his cardio. So if Benavidez were to take off a round or be lazy in a round, well, you would just give him a second win. And then he can do it all over again the next round. So you need to keep him busy. But give him scared busy. Don't just give him busy. Scared busy is just pressuring him, walking him down, letting him know your punches don't hurt. Be up in his face. Talk to him. This is also a fight, people. We need to make it as psychological as possible. Now, both guys we know aren't going to say a whole lot of stuff in the press conference. But during the fight, no, you need to talk to a guy like that. All right, yeah, you can run. You better run. Talk to him. Get to him. Maybe plan and be like, no, I'm going to plant my feet and we're going to go this round. Cool, that's where I wanted you. Go straight to the body. Those combinations to the body. Let them rip. Let them rip. Get Plant on those ropes. Get him in the corner. Let the body punches rip. Why? Because it's going to make Caleb Plant into a stationary fighter. And now it's going to be all downhill for Caleb Plant and all uphill for you because he can't run. And if he can't run, he's going to have a very hard time. Very hard time moving forward. Drag Caleb Plant into a dogfight. That's basically it. Drag him into a dogfight. Whatever you have to do. If that's just blocking every exit off, then block every exit off. If that's going to the body early and now he can't move his legs the way he wants to, great. Go to the body early. Now he can't move his legs the way he wants to. But whatever you have to do, make it into a dogfight. That's going to benefit David Benavidez and not Caleb Plant. So overall, I have David Benavidez winning. Not by much, though. Actually, by like 2 points. But nonetheless, I have him winning. I just think David Benavidez with, he's young, he's big for the division, he's strong, a lot of power in those punches, just those combinations, and they're like relentless combinations. And when he's a finisher. And he can smother you. Like I said, he's big for the division. I think he can give Caleb Plant a lot of trouble if he can slow Caleb Plant down. And I do believe he has what it takes to slow him down because he does hit hard enough. And, maybe you might not get all the punches in, but I think, attack here, attack here, attack here. And you just, in spots over time, say round 6, 7, he really slows down. We know what David Benavidez is made of. He's gotten off the canvas. But we also know what Caleb Plant is made of. If you put him in a certain position, he might just crumble all over again. So with that being said, I'm going to have to go with David Benavidez. I do see him stopping Caleb Plant. It will be late in the rounds because he's got to first catch Caleb Plant. I think Caleb Plant learned his lesson with Canelo, that I need to be who I am naturally, and I am not going to get dragged into something or a particular type of fight that is not my fight. I need to fight the way that got me to the dance. So overall, I have David Benavidez winning. You tell me what you think. Who do you have winning? You have Caleb Plant winning. You have David Benavidez winning. Do you agree with my breakdown and prediction? Drop your comments down below. As always, I'd love to hear what you have to say. Please like, please share, please subscribe to my channel.